What's going on, everybody? In this video I'm going to go over all the various tools that Luke can use in order to win the neutral game. Let's start with the fireball game. Switch between medium and heavy sandblast to throw off the opponent's perfect parry timing. The medium version doesn't reach as far as the heavy version. Use light sandblast in order to bait parries from your opponent and waste their meter. There is a chance that your opponent will do a delayed drive rush to try to punish your light sandblast, but this is pretty hard to do because it requires good spacing and timing. You can preemptively do OD sandblast to beat opponent's fireballs. You can spend one more bar to do the follow-up as you see the opponent's fireball. If you want to punish a fireball with Luke's level 1 or level 3 super on reaction, usually you will have to preemptively buffer the double quarter circle forward input. So this is sort of a read and a reaction at the same time. One very common situation I like to buffer this input is if my opponent likes to do 2 fireballs back to back. So after I block the first fireball, I immediately buffer the input, and if I see the second fireball, I punish it. If you play modern controls, you can easily punish fireballs with his supers or sometimes even his ODDP without having to worry about buffering inputs. So let's say your opponent is sick of your fireballs and tries to jump in. What are Luke's anti-air options? His main anti-airs are light and medium DP. Light DP I usually use when the opponent does a very close jump in, or if I'm doing a crosscut DP against cross-ups. If you want to know what to do after the knockdown, check out my Luke Oki guide in the description. Throughout this video I will also refer to some other Luke guides I've made. You can use crouching heavy punch as an easier alternative, although the reward is usually not as good as DP. However, crouching heavy punch is a very good move against moves that are designed to bait DPs and also some other airborne options. Level 2 super is also a pretty good anti-air. A retreating jumping medium punch is a pretty good way to keep the opponent in the corner. If you're trying to jump in yourself, mainly you want to use jumping heavy punch because it has an insane hitbox. You want to use jumping heavy kick from further distances, and you want to use jumping medium kick to cross up. Luke by far has one of the best drive rushes in the game. If you think your opponent's going to try to check you with a medium attack or a slower attack, use crouching medium punch in order to counter hit them. If the opponent's very ready, they can possibly check your crouching medium punch with a jab. However, back heavy punch is amazing against those because you can make jabs with it. Back heavy punch is also really good on block. It's +1 and it leaves you in throw range most of the time. Do a backdash if you think your opponent's going to try to tech a throw. So lastly, let's talk about Luke's pokes. Luke's forward heavy punch can be used as a poke, but I don't think it's that great because it's pretty slow. Luke's main 2 pokes are crouching medium kick and standing medium punch. If you want to learn how to hit confirm into the target combos from these moves, check out my hit confirm guide with Luke. You can also cancel crouching medium kick into a light sandblast or drive rush. Standing medium punch target combo is also a really good way to confirm into super, as the first hit and the second hit are cancelable into super. If your opponent drive impacted as you did the standing medium punch, you can attempt canceling into super to armor break them. Standing medium kick is an amazing button to create space, but the reward isn't that amazing and it also is weak to drive impact. Standing heavy punch is another good poke, although make sure that you don't whiff this move. You can mainly cancel it into drive rush or a heavy fireball. If you space standing heavy punch, then heavy fireball can actually be +1 on block. You can also use standing light punch target combo as a poke, and you mainly want to cancel into drive rush or an OD sandblast. However, check out my Luke standing light punch target combo guide to see what other options you and your opponent have. In closer distances, a counter hit crouching medium punch can combo into a standing light punch. Crouching medium punch is also a really good buffer move, and I recommend buffering it into a drive rush or a heavy knuckle. If you have level 3 super available, then your heavy charged knuckle suddenly becomes a much safer move because if the opponent tries to drive impact it, you can cancel into level 3 super. Therefore, cancelling a standing heavy punch or a crouching medium punch into heavy knuckle is pretty good because if your normal gets blocked, then you can charge the heavy knuckle all the way and you're plus on block and you're safe against DI. Keep in mind that crouching medium punch needs to counter hit for heavy knuckle to combo. Your stand light punch target combo also becomes safer to throw out because of your heavy knuckle. If the opponent's in burnout, Luke suddenly has a lot more options to poke with. An uncharged heavy knuckle is now 0 on block, so it's a lot safer to randomly throw out or to cancel into. And since Luke sways back, you can kind of use it as a backswing blow. And charged heavy knuckle still remains pretty safe because now the opponent doesn't even have the eye. Your stand light punch target combo is now very safe because medium fireball is a true block string now. You can also now safely poke the opponent with your sweep because it's now only -5 on block. And when the opponent is in the corner, I actually like to use standing heavy kick as well because if you space it, it's plus on block, and on hit you can combo usually into crouching light punch at least. So that's mainly all I wanted to talk about. If you want to know how to whiff punish with Luke, because that's also a part of the neutral game, check out my Luke whiff punish guide. I'll see you in the next video.